What is going on? Welcome to No Chill Promos. How y'all doing? Hope you're having a blessed Wednesday if you're watching this. And before I get into today's review of NXT, just gotta do a quick shout out to all subscribers to the channel and to the followers on Rumble. Still at 120 subs, 80 more, and get the 5 through 10 favorite wrestlers of all time list. Alright, but until then, gonna keep on going. Got a lot of shit to put out there, so let me not waste any more time and let's get it. First, we see Mr. Whoop That Trick Williams, and he's out here standing on business, 10 toes down. He ain't playing. He says, I didn't start this, but I'm damn sure gonna finish this. So Pete Williams, bring your ass down here so I can whoop that butch. And then, the crowd chants, whoop that butch, yeah, whoop that butch, whoop that butch, pretty much. But instead of Butch coming out, aka Pete Dunne YXB, we get the current NXT World Champion, Mr. All Ego Ethan Page with his garbage ass theme song. That's another theme song that's fucking trash. Like a lot of garbage theme songs these days. But he comes out rocking his high water ass pants. I don't know who told him to wear that. I don't know who told him that was a good idea. Nah. Alright, but he comes out, cuts a boring ass promo saying how, like, oh, you didn't expect Mr. All Ego to come out here, did you? But I must say, you did do your job and you raised my hand at the end of No Mercy. I'm still your champion. I'm still the NXT World Champion. And it's still the era of All Ego Ethan Page. Then we see Mr. YXB, Pete Dunne coming out of nowhere and attacking Trick Williams. And then we see security come and break them up. Alright, and that's basically all that happened here. Next, we see Hank and Tank. Or I like to call them, you got Hank Rogan and Tank Franco. Because I call these guys the Seth Rogen and James Franco of NXT. Alright, but they get confronted by Gallus. Alright, and Gallus was like, you two are complete jokes. Okay, you have no business being in a match with Gallus. And Hank was like, oh yeah? It's like, well, I can fill this tank up right now. What you want to do? These guys are low-key funny, I'm not gonna lie, man. They are entertaining. I like these guys. Then we see Miss Jada Parker. Hey, Miss Parker, her fine ass coming in, but she gets checked by Fatal Influence, and you got Jasmine talking shit like, "Oh, what happened to your NXT title that I thought you were gonna win?" It's like, "Oh, is your ribs hurt?" Oh. And then Jada was like, at least I don't have to rely on clout chasing these two bimbos." And then JC and Fallon were like, "Oh, wow." This one's feisty, So Jada was like, you gonna talk all that shit, why don't you meet me in the ring later? And you can bring these two hoochies too. And she's like, maybe I will. So that sets up the match later on tonight. But next we get a match between the Rascals, Gallus, and Hank and Tank to determine the number one contender for Nathan Frazier and Axiom's tag team titles. Alright, match was decent. Hank and Tank got some shine here, and the crowd is slowly but surely getting behind these dudes, and rightfully so. These guys don't take themselves too seriously, and they understand this is about entertainment, and that's what these guys bring. These guys are entertaining. Alright, but fast forward to the ending of the match, we see the young OG Javon Evans getting involved. He beats up Joe Coffey because these guys been beefing for the past few weeks. We see Trey Miguel. He hits the Meteora off the top rope to I believe it was Tank. Then Wentz hits the Swanton Bomb for the 1, 2, 3. Alright, so obviously Rascals are going to win. And no, they're not winning the tag team titles because I can tell you right now, Wesley ain't going to let that happen. Alright, he's gonna be on his hater shit. He's gonna prevent that shit from happening. And they're gonna continue the feud between Wesley and the Rascals. Too easy. So let's continue. Next, we see Nathan Frazier and Axiom backstage with, I think her name's Sarah, I believe. Yeah. Nathan says, see, I told you we're gonna win back the NXT tag team titles of my amigo here. And Axiom, I don't know what the fuck Axiom said here. I got no clue. And nor was there any subtitles for me to read. And it's because of that mask of his, which, I mean, it does look cool. It's a different design. It's kind of like the mask that fencers wear when they're doing the fencing. But it's like, it's a double-edged sword. Like, it's cool, but I'm like, at the same time, it like kind of inhibits his promos. You know what I mean? Like it did here tonight. Next, we see the Rascals pull up, and they said that they're going to win the NXT Tag Team titles, and then that's it. I mean, like, that's all really happened there. So next, we see Lexus King with the Peruvian shape-up coming out, and he's going to face Ora Mensa because these two were beefing last week. Because I'm trying not to laugh here, but this shit was funny because Ora was like, you shouldn't be talking about fathers when you don't even have one yourself, right? And then Lexus proceeds to slap the shit out of him. He slaps his ass and then they start brawling. So that's what led to this match right here. But before we get to the match, we go backstage to see Trick Williams. You know, he's so pissed off, he wants to smoke with Pete Dunne. And Pete Dunne was like, oh, I'm ready right now. And then these guys start brawling again in the locker room until security breaks them up. So I appreciate what they're doing with this feud. And right now, my workhorse of the year is Pete Dunne. Right? It's between him and Tomohiro Ishii. Like, these guys are everywhere putting in that work. And I respect it. So, yeah. Next, we go back to Ora Mensa making his entrance with like a Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Woo! I am for real. You know. Metaphor. I still know where fuck Noam Dar is. I think he's injured, maybe. He has to be injured. But I don't know. But yeah. Match itself was decent. I mean, quick match. All that really happened was at the end, Lexus was like, your father should have burned in ashes. Your father should have burned, Ora. He should have burned. Basically, like trying to get some heat, you know, which I can appreciate. And it's some weird, I forgot who the fuck, I don't know who came up with this shit, but apparently some of the fans of Lexus King go by Lex Offenders. Yeah, that's what. What a crazy ass name. Who the fuck want to call themselves Lex Offenders? Come on, man. Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, can't make this shit up. But yeah. Or snaps. He starts like this. He just launches a blitzkrieg onto Lexus King. Referee tries to pull him off. He gets distracted. Lexus King takes advantage. Does a schoolboy pin with the feet on the rope, on the middle rope for the 1, 2, 3. So this man wants his father to burn, to be incinerated, and he won the match. Like, that's crazy. All right, but he runs off because Ora chases him to the back, as you should have, because I'm like, Ora wants to end this man. He wants to put him down for good, and as you should. Well, next we go backstage with the D'Angelo family. All right, and they get interrupted by the ruler of NXT, and that's Mr. Oba Femi, the current NXT North American champion. Stacks was like, you know, you got a lot of balls to come into our locker room. Oba was like, listen, I get all of your frustrations. It must be tough, especially you, Stacks, to come into terms with the fact that your boss stood no match against the ruler of NXT. Alright, Rizzo then says like, oh, you got lucky at No Mercy. Like, the Dawn isn't done with you yet. And don't worry, you and that NXT title is going to come to an end soon enough. Alright, Oba says, big talk from such a small woman. In many cultures, the woman is to be seen, not heard. I'm like, damn, Oba, you ain't gotta do her like that. That's some savage shit. All right, then the Don shows up. He's like, no, what the hell's the matter with you? You know, in my culture, you talking to a woman like that, you get smacked in the mouth. All right, Oba says, maybe you should do something about it. But Lucas says like, oh, is that a challenge? Tony says, Stacks is gonna take care of you tonight. And the way Stacks looks at him, like Like, no, this nigga didn't, man. God damn. He's like, I can't back down now because I ain't trying to look like a bitch. So, like, you know, he's like, you got it, don't. Oba walks away. Rizzo was like, are you sure about this? Tony was like, don't worry. I trust that the underboss is going to take care of Obafemi tonight. Right? Nobody talks to you like that and gets away with it. So we're going to get Obafemi versus Stax later on tonight. But next we move on. We see the current NXT Women's Champion Roxanne making her way into the building. Most likely to cut a lame, boring gas promo. But we'll get to that later on. Next, we get to a match between Tatum Paxley, the sexy Tatum. Alright? Underrated. Tatum is underrated in my opinion. And big ups to the homie, the big body Javi, for knocking that down, man. Big ups to you, my guy. Like, another lucky man. Alright, but she's taking on, apparently, Rosemary. I thought she was going to face Wendy, especially after Wendy choked her ass out, but no. Instead, she goes up against Rosemary, which I'm like, oh no. Like, oh no, man. Like, but the match itself was okay. I'm going to fast forward to the finish, which Tatum hits her finisher, which I don't even know what she calls that shit, but she hits it 1, 2, 3, she wins. So you got Rosemary, a former multiple-time TNA Knockouts World Champion, coming into NXT, and she's 0-2 so far. Terrible. They could be doing so much more with Rosemary. It's like, I said this before in the review for No Mercy. Like, this shit's ass backwards. It should be Rosemary that should be controlling Wendy, not vice versa. You see what I'm saying? It's ass backwards. But after the match, they jump Tatum Paxley, and then we see Lyra Valkyria making an appearance in NXT, even though she's on Raw. Why she's on NXT, I had no fucking clue. But she comes here to save Tatum, you know. And these two have history together if you watch NXT, and they hug and embrace each other. So yeah. So, oh, not to mention, Lyra is going to be on Speed also. So we got triple duty Lyra Valkyria this week. All over the place. So big ups to her, man. Get that money. And real quick, I've been meaning to do a video, and I keep forgetting because that's how irrelevant Speed is. But does anybody actually care about Speed? Does anybody even watch Speed, or even the highlights on YouTube? Because I guess this shit's on Twitter, X, whatever. I don't even know where to watch it. But out of all the content creators that I check out for wrestling content, not one, and I mean this, not one soul has made any type of video covering Speed. I mean, like, that's how irrelevant that shit is. I've been making, I meant to do a video about it like a while back, but I haven't done it yet because, quite frankly, I keep forgetting. That's how irrelevant this shit is, man. Maybe one day this week, probably not. Next week, maybe, probably not. I have no clue. Like, I just want to know if people actually watch Speed. Like, do people actually care about that shit? Because I guess you're gonna do a women's version of the Speed belt or some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't care, man. But let me move on. Next, we see Mr. YXB Pete Dunne being interviewed by Sarah. He says, like, yeah, I told Trick to figure that out, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna figure out this ass whooping that I'm gonna give him tonight. Alright, this is a music video, which he was referencing the diss track that Trick put out, I guess this weekend or last week, which was hilarious. Like, this man roasted Pete Dunne, like, with a 2-minute music video with like a 2006 hip hop beat. You know what I mean? Like, that shit was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie. Like, so I'm like, yeah. Like, if I was a Pete Dunne, I'll be pissed too. He sees Trick Williams again. It's on site, so Pete attacks him again, and to the point where they're like fighting in like the catering area, and Ava says, right, she yells, she's like, that's it, you know, we're gonna settle this now, you get to the ring now. I'm like, oh, like, damn, man. Like, you see Ethan was like, whoa. Like, man, this place has gone to shit with you being GM, hasn't it? Next, we see a TikTok from the Juggernaut, the current TNA Knockouts champion, Jordynne Grace. All she said was next week she's going to issue an open challenge for her Knockouts championship on NXT. That's it. So next, we get on to the match between YXB Pete Dunne versus Whoop That Trick Williams. Okay, Trick didn't even get to finish his entrance because Pete said, fuck that. Like, fuck that. I'm going after him. So these guys end up brawling again. This was the match of the night, in my opinion. These guys have good chemistry out there. There was at one point in the match where Pete Dunne basically does a curb stomp to Trick Williams on top of the steel steps. Now the match should have ended right here, but this is pro wrestling, so match continues. But they fight to the announce table area. They climb up the around where the fans are. Trick was trying to lock in the shit out Uranaki he does, but Pete counters with the finger manipulation that he does. He hits the Russian leg sweep onto Trick onto the announce table. So they're both dead. They're done. It's over. We see fucking Starburst and fucking Jolly Ranchers all over the place. Whoever's eating it. I'm assuming Vic because it was on his side. And they both get counted out. So double count out. But these guys still fight even after the match is over. Alright. So love to see it. This is good shit right here. Alright. Next, we see a promo package from Ridge Holland talking about how Chase U ain't shit without Ridge, and that he's basically going to enjoy destroying Chase U bit by bit. And he tells Dia Hill he's going to enjoy every last second of it. And then we see him stomping on a Chase U trophy. So Ridge is a man on a mission to burn down Chase U once and for all. Alright. Next, we see Brooks Jensen talking to Sean Spears. Sean says, thank you for having my back and completely dog walking Idris last week. I appreciate it. He walks away. This Dion kid, I don't know his full name. I know it's Dion something. But he walks up, he's like, bro, he's clearly manipulating you. And Brooks is like, what do you mean? Bro, he's gaslighting you. And he walks off. And then we see Sean looking from a distance like, this motherfucker. Trying to fuck things up for me. Alright. But next we get a match between, or the rematch between Javon Evans, the young OG, versus Joe Coffey, the leader of Gallus. Alright, another good match here. But we're going to fast forward to the ending. We see Cedric Alexander getting involved. Joe was like, what the hell are you doing? Cedric was like, hey, don't look at me. I ain't do shit. Then we see the young OG activate his infinite airtime cheat code. Just launches himself to Gallus. He rolls him back in. He hits his, I don't even know what the fuck you call his move. It's just a spinny finisher for the 1, 2, 3. I don't know what you call that shit, man. It's just an insane display of his athleticism, right? So young OG goes over, big ups to him. Next, we see Lyra Valkyria talking to Tatum Paxi back there. Lyra says that I've been watching and I can't keep my eyes off of you. And she's not the only one. Okay, wait, nah, seriously. She was like, I see what's been going on. I wanted you to make friends, not with Barbie dolls, okay? So I came here to help you out. I got your back because I'm your friend. We see Tatum looking super happy. And she says, can we do the thing? Lyra says, sure, why not? And they give each other a big old hug. So what a good, heartfelt moment for the NXT universe. So yeah, fuck all that. Let's move on. Next, we see the ruler of NXT, Obafemi, coming out to decimate the underboss Stacks. But before he does, we go back to see the lovely Ava, the GM of NXT, being interviewed by Sarah. She has an announcement. She's tired of the chaos, the anarchy between Pete Dunne and Trick Williams. So next week, there's going to be a last man standing match to determine the #1 contender to Ethan Page's NXT World title and the CW premiere in October. Moving on, we get the match between Obafemi and the underboss Stax. Alright, or Stax Lorenzo, I believe that's his full name. Alright, but this is basically a squash match as it should be. Stax gets completely destroyed. It's not even close. And you can see on the expression from the Don, Tony D'Angelo, that he is not pleased. Alright, this was an embarrassment. He got his ass whooped, dog walked, steamrolled. We see Oba hit the pop-up powerbomb to Stax for the 1-2-3 and a landslide victory. So on one hand, you got Ridge trying to take out Chase U. On the other hand, you got Obafemi trying to take out the D'Angelo family. Alright, but we move on. We see Brinley Reese and Carmen Petrovic talking backstage. We see Ashanti the Adonis lurking. He spots 2 snow bunnies, and here's his opportunity. So he goes up, tries to bridge them up, but we see Eddie Thorpe coming to cop block him yet again. So Brinley and Carmen bounce. He says, "Oh look, it's DJ Platonic. Look, just because you don't have any game doesn't mean you need to mess with mine. Alright, so why don't you go back to your work before you get this work?" And then he walks off. Next, we see Fatal Influence making their entrance, because it's going to be Jasmine Nix versus Jada Parker here in a bit. Basically, Fatal Influence is like Toxic Attraction 2.0. Just not as sexy and not as over. Alright. So next, we see the young OG, Javon Evans, talking with Ren Sinclair. Alright. He's making a pitch to go after the Heritage Cup. Alright, Ren says, "Well, give me some reasons why you think you're qualified to challenge for the cup." Javon says, "Well, I almost won the speed belt a few weeks ago. I main evented Heat Wave in a banger match, and I just whooped Joe Coffey's ass." Ren says, "Those are pretty good reasons, but do you have any more?" The Javon says, "Look, Ren, you seem pretty cool and all, but this sounds like a job interview, and I ain't never had a job, so..." But Ren was like, "Okay, sure. No, you know what? You got the match. Next week, you could challenge for the Heritage Cup." And Javon was like, "Alright, bet." He's like, "I'll go tell Ava." We see Charlie Dempsey pull up, and he was like, "Why the hell were you talking to Javon?" And Ren says, "Well, he's going to challenge you next week for the Heritage Cup." Charlie was like, "Why the hell would you do that?" Wait, it's not official, is it? No, but he made a compelling argument to challenge for the Heritage Cup, and I'm just doing what you told me to do. That's all. Charlie said, "You gotta be kidding me." And then he yells at Miles, "Miles! Miles!" And he's like, "Huh? What?" You just stand there and let this happen? He's like, "Well, what? Huh?" So Miles, he's like, "Huh? What?" Bro was too busy watching Deadpool and Wolverine on his phone. But we move on. We get back to the match between Jada Parker versus Jasmine Nix. A short match, they got their shit in. Jada wins with the hypnotic attack, which she got to change that finisher. It's cool for a signature, a setup to the finisher, but that alone can't be the finisher, because that move, that ain't it. Alright, despite even all the mass with that ass coming at you at full speed, it's not a convincing, impactful finisher, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing Jada Parker really needs to do. She just needs a solid finisher, you know what I mean? So after the fact, Fatal Influence jumps Jada Parker, typical heel shit, and they laugh and mock her to end that segment. Alright, next we see now this is the reason right here I watch NXT. One of the reasons. Look at all these beautiful women back here. You got Lola Vice, who's been buried. She's now been relegated to just being a regular in the women's division, pretty much. Just hurts my soul to see, man. Just the damage that has been done to her character. But we also see Kalani Jordan, the current women's North American champion. We see Kendall Bray. We see Danny Palmer, who I believe was injured. So maybe she's coming back here soon. But if so, that's good. good to see her back. We see Izzy Dame, that Selena chick, and I don't know the other broads back there, but they get interrupted by Fatal Influence. Basically, all that happens was JC's calling her a shot that Jordan's days as the North American champion are numbered. That's all that happened here. Next, we see a tweet from Duke Hudson from Chase U, who is in a state of turmoil over the heinous actions of Ridge Holland, almost destroying Chase U single-handedly in one night. Alright, so he says this shit right there. Who cares? And last but not least, we get the final segment of the night, which is a promo from Roxanne. She goes out there and cuts a boring, typical promo that she's been cutting, talking about how the NXT needs to put respect in her name. She goes over some of her accolades since she's been down at NXT that nobody gives a shit about. like nobody cares that you've been in like this many PLEs, you got this many wins in a developmental fucking program. Like, we don't care. Alright? So she gets interrupted by Chelsea Green, who I must say was looking good. Alright, she goes out there, she basically says that why does like half of the side of the audience smell like a pack of ass and sewage? Alright, use some deodorant. Fucking get you some Old Spice or some shit. Fucking Axe fucking body spray, something. She then says oh, were you expecting someone else to interrupt you? Well, haha. Joke's on you because it's me, and not St. Nicholas the Pickles, P-Head Pierce, or No Flavor Ava is going to deny me my shot for the NXT Women's title. You see the lights go out, you see the mist flowing from the entrance, and here comes Julia with her garbage, generic NPC-ass theme song. Great entrance, garbage theme song. That's the problem here. She comes up. She basically hits Chelsea Green with a forearm and a shitty looking knee, takes her out, jacks her microphone. She looks Roxanne dead in her eye. She says, me, you, CW. And that's it. That's it. I'm joking, but yeah, that's literally all she said. Me, you, CW. Which is Sean trying to protect her because Julia's English isn't there just yet. Alright, so smart. Makes sense. So yeah. So CW, we're going to get the match, the official title match between Julia and Roxanne. And like I said, at No Mercy, if Roxanne goes over on Julia, I'm done watching NXT for the foreseeable future. Alright, like, let me know when she drops that fucking belt. And even after that, I still might not even come back to NXT. Because that's some bullshit. Like, what the fuck does Roxanne going over on Julia do for her? Not a damn thing. Alright, like, except for what, add another body to her fucking lame-ass fucking title reign that no one really gives a shit about 5 years from now? I'm just saying, man, like, I have her drop the belt and so she can move on to Raw or SmackDown, man. Her time at NXT is done. Alright, she needs to get her ass called up so we can move the fuck along. Alright? So, and that's it. That's all I have here for this episode of NXT. So, there's some good shit here. Decent episode overall. So, if you watch NXT, let me know what your favorite moment or match was. So, love it, hate it, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's all the same to me. I just want to see the engagement and the feedback from you guys. That's why I do these videos, alright? I want to see those likes go up. I want to see more comments from you guys, from the people, from subscribers to the channel. I want to hear from you guys, alright? Next video, I'm going to try to knock out the Sid Vicious tribute video later on today, if I'm lucky. If not, I'll drop it probably tonight, if not in the morning. Alright, I got you guys. I want to do that video. I want to put over one of the greatest big men to ever set foot in that squared circle. So with that said, I wasted enough of your guys' time. So be safe, be blessed, take care of yourself, trust in God. I'm out of here. Till next time, adios.